We'd like to thank our sponsor. Okay. Let's see. Annabella Pitkin and her dedication. For my daughter Eleanor's well-being and happiness this year and every year, and for the healing of the world, and for the long life of our teachers, for David K's healing, in memory of Nancy Howell. So thank you very much. Okay, so everybody ready? Okay. To you who are of the essence of the body, speech, mind, and all qualities and actions of all the Tathagatas of the 3 times and 10 directions, the source of 84,000 sections of the doctrines, lords of all the Arya Sangha, the glorious holy kind root and lineage gurus, I go for refuge. I go for refuge to the Buddha, I go for refuge to the Dharma, I go for refuge to the Sangha. To you who are of the essence of the body, speech, mind, and all qualities and actions of all the Tathagatas of the 3 times and 10 directions, the source of 84,000 sections of the doctrine, lords of all the Arya Sangha, the glorious holy kind root and lineage gurus, I go for refuge. I go for refuge to the Buddha, I go for refuge to the Dharma, I go for refuge to the Sangha. To you who are of the essence of the body, speech, mind, and all qualities and actions of all the Tathagatas of the 3 times and 10 directions, the source of 84,000 sections of the doctrine, lords of all the Arya Sangha, the glorious holy kind root and lineage gurus, I go for refuge. I go for refuge to the Buddha. I go for refuge to the Dharma. I go for refuge to the Sangha. I must make all these sentient beings my mothers, have happiness in its cause. I must make them free from suffering and its cause. Therefore, I must at all costs quickly win unsurpassable Buddhahood. Now the visualization. By the power of the truth of the 3 jewels, of the inspiration of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of the great might of the completed 2 collections, and the pure and inconceivable Dharmadhatu, that this place where the deity hosts of the peerless king of the Shakyas and their entourage are to be invoked, become a perfectly pure Buddha land, created through the previous special vows of the teacher, the king of sages, with qualities of splendor, like those of Lord Amitabha's land. Let its ground be of the nature of manifold jewels, as even as the palm of the hand, broad and spacious, soft and pleasant to touch, immaculate, bright, spread with manifold heavenly flowers, with the sweet fragrance of snake-heart sandalwood. Built of jewel tiles, their banks strewn with powder of gold, silver and pearls, covered with graceful swaying uptalas, kumudas and lotuses, and adorned with various water birds, swiftly calling and joyfully soaring and hovering. Let lakes, ponds, and pools with the 8 properties make it beautiful. Let wish-granting trees of jewels bending and swaying beneath celestial gems, garlands of pearls, pendant jewels, nodding blossoms, and beautifully formed fruit, with sounds of true Dharma coming from the ringing of little golden bells, stand everywhere and adorn it well. So let the perfect ground appear. In its center let there be a palace, arrayed with the 7 precious things, most brilliant, emitting powerful beams of light that completely fill measureless worlds of limitless extent, containing infinite different, well-proportioned dwellings of the sphere of those who have completely transcended the 3 realms, arisen from the superior roots of virtue of those who have transcended the world, marked by utterly pure and dominating knowledge, the abode of Tathagatas, with a community of bodhisattvas, frequented by infinite gods, nagas, yakshas, gandharvas, asuras, garudas, kinnaras, great serpent demons, human beings and spirits, fixed in joy in the taste of Dharma and great bliss, causing all the goals of every sentient being to be attained, free of every stain of harmful defilement, bereft of all maras, a place of the manifestation of Tathagatas, excelling in the manifestation of all things, a vehicle of detachment from samsara through mindfulness, wisdom, and great realization, and of quietude and insight, entered by the doors of deliverance, emptiness, sightlessness, and wishlessness, resting on an array of kings of jewel lotuses adorned with infinite qualities, let the great palace appear. In its center, let there be gathered a lotus seat on a precious lion throne for the peerless teacher, the king of sages, and seats for all the rest of the Tathagatas of the 10 directions and the bodhisattvas, here in Pratyeka Aryas and their attendants, These places are in accordance with the special vows and the might of each Arya, all beautiful. Let them appear. Everywhere, outside and in accordance with their high status, let it be entirely filled with manifold, excellent, perfect requisites of gods and human beings, such as foodstuffs, clothing, ornaments, and music, as described in the Sutra of the Three Heaps and the vow of the conduct of Vajra, in whole oceans of clouds of offerings, and let it be adorned with ornaments. Let all the Aryas take their seats, transform these offerings into suchness, accept them, and enjoy them. Let all the Aryas take their seats, transform these offerings into suchness, accept them, and enjoy them. Let all the Aryas take their seats, transform these offerings into suchness, accept them, and enjoy them. Om Namo Bhagavate Vajrasara Pramadanaye Tathagataya Arahate Samaksam Buddhaya Teyata Om Vaje Vaje Mahavaje Mahateja Vaje Mahavidya Vaje Mahabodhichitta Vaje Mahabodhi Mendopasam Kamana Vaje Sarakawa Avarano Vishodana Vaje Soha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vajrasara Pramadanaye Tathagataya Arahate Samaksam Buddhaya Teyata Om Vaje Vaje Mahavaje Mahateja Vaje Mahavidya Vaje Mahabodhichitta Vaje Mahabodhi Mendopasam Kamana Vaje Sarakawa Avarano Vishodana Vaje Soha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vajrasara Pramadanaye Tathagataya Arahate Samaksam Buddhaya Teyata Om Vaje Vaje Mahavaje Mahateja Vaje Mahavidya Vaje Mahabodhichitta Vaje Mahabodhi Mendopasam Kamana Vaje Sarakawa Avarano Vishodana Vaje Soha. By the power of the truth of the three jewels of the inspiration of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the great might of the completed two collections, and the pure and inconceivable Dharmadhatu, may these offerings become suchness. By the power of the truth of the three jewels of the inspiration of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of the great might of the completed two collections, and of the pure and inconceivable Dharmadhatu, may these offerings become suchness. By the power of the truth of the three jewels of the inspiration of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of the great might of the completed two collections, and of the pure and inconceivable Dharmadhatu, may these offerings become suchness. Lord, bestowing every perfection, Tathagata, Arhat, complete and perfect Buddha, matchless King of the Shakyas, and the rest of the conquerors of the 10 directions, with your assemblies of children and disciples and the protectors of your doctrine, please pay attention to us donors. Now you, our teacher, Lord Shakyamuni Buddha, have because of your disciples manifested the passing into nirvana in this earth, but in other worlds and various Tathagata's transformations, you remain benefiting, migrating beings. Out of your great compassion that looked upon all sentient beings 6 times each day and night, and great compassion for us unruly and tractable sentient beings of the age of conflict, when the lifespan is 100 years, who were previously abandoned and forsaken by all other bodhisattvas, Jotipala and the rest, that were to attain enlightenment in this fortunate eon, left behind without protector, refuge or friend in the waves of becoming and machinery of samsara, sentient beings who are the vessel of every kind of sufferings, you adopted us, made 500 great vows on top of the previous special vows you had pronounced, and have kept to us your subject disciples, included among those you accepted as your emblem, and a mere remnant of the recipients of your kindness, so as to ripen and liberate us migrating beings of when the 5 degeneracies grow, will you please come, invited as a protector and friend, enter these palace grounds with their collection of offerings, and consent to join the great assembly and exert your supernatural power. Other Buddhas of this fortunate eon, the succession of 7 Sugatas, and other Buddha Bhagawans dwelling in the 10 directions in the 3 times, so as to ripen and liberate us migrating beings of when the 5 degeneracies grow, will you please come, invited as a protector and friend, enter these palace grounds with their collection of offerings, and consent to join the great assembly and exert your supernatural power. Your whole assembly of bodhisattvas, the 8 great sons and others, so as to ripen and liberate us migrating beings of when the 5 degeneracies grow, will you please come, invited as protectors and friends, enter these palace grounds with their collection of offerings, and consent to join the great assembly and exert your supernatural power. You great disciples, the excellent pair, Kashyapa, the 16 elders and others, and the whole assembly of Hira and Pratyeka Aryas, so as to ripen and liberate us migrating beings of when the 5 degeneracies grow, will you please come, invited as protectors and friends, enter these palace grounds with their collection of offerings, and consent to join the great assembly and exert your supernatural power. All you protectors of the Dharma, the Aryas who once promised to protect the doctrine and the 4 classes of followers, so as to ripen and liberate us migrating beings of when the 5 degeneracies grow, will you please come, invited as a protector and friends, enter these palace grounds with their collection of offerings, and consent to join the great assembly and exert your supernatural power. Protector of all beings without exception, endless subduer of Mara's tribes and forces, deity, perfect knower of all things, pure one in attendance, please come here. Ma lu sen chen kungi kongyu ching, du de pun che mi za som za la, nga na ma lu yanda ken gyu pe, yonda kordan cha te shek su so. In the center of the palace, upon a tall, wide, precious throne, supported by 8 great lions, is a universal lotus seat. On them sits one who is in essence my kind rude crew, but in aspect the conqueror Shakyamuni, his body the color of refined gold. He has a Nushnisha on top of his head, and is one-faced and 2-armed, his right hand touching the earth, his left in contemplation mudra, holding an alms bowl full of nectar. He is wearing 3 beautiful robes, dull red in color. His head is beautifully adorned with the crown of the 5 families of Tathagatas, made of gold, with the silk ribbons of a hero, studded with all kinds of jewels. Adorned with the marks and signs of the nature of bright, clear light, he sits amid a mass of light produced from his body, with his 2 legs in the Vajra cross-leg position. To his right and left to his throne stand the 2 Aryas, Shariputra and Maha Moddagalyayana, in attitudes of showing respect to the teacher. Around sit the glorious holy root and lineage gurus, and the innumerable Buddhist bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, Hira and Pratyeka Aryas and their attendants, each on their own seat. Thinking with wisdom and love of beings like space, you finish the 2 collections in 3 countless eons, glory of the Saha universe, supreme guide, chief of the Shakyas, homage to you. To beings of times of decline, you have more compassion than all the infinite conquerors and their children. To you, O matchless teacher, king of the Shakyas, with great respect, with my 3 doors, I pay homage. Unable to bear beings' torments with your compassion, you arouse the thought, I'll free all beings from the sea of becoming, and during countless eons practice difficult contact. Homage to you. Once, Lord, when you took birth as a Brahmin, not bearing compassion the misery of tigress and her cubs, you gave your body, healer of affliction, homage to you. Once, when as King Siva you were born, without regret you gave away all you owned, to a blind Brahman both your eyes you gave, you who made the blind see, homage to you. Once, when you were king of Kosala, recalling your previous life, you said, behold this vast result of giving, but some sour grew, teaching people true Dharma, homage to you. When you were the merchant heroic in giving, Mara, unable to bear it, created a fire pit. Courageously you crossed the pit of fire and made offering to an Arya, homage to you. When you were the merchant Avisahya, the gods to test you made all your goods disappear, but cutting grass and selling it with its price, you still sustain the needy, homage to you. When born as a master hare, you taught your followers Dharma, and to feed a hungry Brahman, leapt in a fire yourself, then undertook you and showed to all this marvel, homage to you. Born as a Brahman, living in forced austerities, though for 3 days a god took your austere food, still you gave without regret or attachment, living on joy of samadhi, homage to you. Born King Matribala, with love you looked after all beings. With your own flesh and blood you fed 5 yakshas, saying, when I am Buddha, I shall give you nectar, homage to you. Born as Prince Vishvantara, you gave all you cherished away, including your wealth, elephant, son, and daughter. By fearless giving, you made all beings happy, homage to you. Born as a righteous king, you saved the lives of countless animals, not allowing their sacrifice. All your people you fixed in the law of 10 virtues, perfect in generosity, homage to you. When born as king of the gods, amidst a battle, when the asuras you caught sight of a bird's nest, and save the young bird's life disregarding your own, keep forever morality, homage to you. When you were born a Brahman, your master told you Brahmins in distress were allowed to steal, but you replied that stealing was improper, perfect in morality, homage to you. When you were king of the Sivis, your minister offered you lovely Uma Dayanti, but you said, though it cost me my life, I'll not commit adultery, keeper of pure morality, homage to you. When you were a great sea pilot, by true factual words you overcame the ocean's abyss and satisfied all desired with manifold jewels, suparaga, good crossing, homage to you. When you were king of fishes, and little fish were harmed by the lakes drying up, and various birds, you saved them by true words that made it rain, skillful compassion one, homage to you. When you were a quail, a forest fire encircled you, but by speaking true words you turned it back, saved countless beings' lives, and made them happy, you with the strength of truth, homage to you. Once when you were Sakra, king of the gods, seeing a king in his court undone by liquor, you taught them by skilled transformation, accept them in virtue, matchless, best god of beings, homage to you. Once, Lord, when you were born a wealthy Satriya, urged by detachment, perceiving the faults of desire, you abandoned all enjoyments of samsara and took the pure going forth, homage to you. Born into an illustrious Brahmin line, you abandoned all wealth to meditate in the wild, made bad conditions a path, gave up thought of harming, and taught your companions the Dharma, homage to you. Once when you were treasurer to a king, when you heard your virtues proclaimed by others, you gave up this life and joyfully went forth, perfect in morality, homage to you. Born a Brahman, you left home and went forth. Known as Kudabodhi, slighted by a king, you angered not, but welcomed him patiently and taught him, homage to you. When born a king of geese, though caught in a snare, you had no fear nor wrath, but with skills and courage, from King Brahmadatta and his attendants, you turned the wheel of Dharma, homage to you. When you were the wanderer Mahabodhi, many abused you, but you showed patience, not wrath, and to the king and his court who held wrong views, showed the true ways things are, homage to you. And born as an ape, you carried upon your back a man fallen over a precipice. When this wicked man returned harmful kindness, you were patient, outstandingly helpful rescuer, homage to you. When you were born to compassion of Sarabha beasts, the king attaching you fell into a chasm, but mounting him on your own body, you lifted him out, soul friend of migrators, homage to you. When born as a Ruru deer through your compassion, you saved an exhausted man swept away by a river, bore his betrayal and turned the wheel of Dharma for the king and his retinue, homage to you. When you were a chief of monkeys and an army assailed your monkey tribe, in your compassion you made your body a bridge and saved the tribe, astonishing great being, homage to you. When you were the ascetic Santivadam, though a king had your body cut in pieces, not wroth with him, once more in your compassion, you repaid good for injury, homage to you. Born as Lord of Brahma gods, in compassion, you taught Angadina, a holder of evil views, the deep law of cause and effects dependent arising, you beneficial in all ways, homage to you. Born as elephant in a dreadful wild, in mercy not bearing the plight of 700 people a king had banished, you gave up your body to feed them, perfect in patience, homage to you. When you were Sutta Soma, because of your teachings, Kamasapada freed those he held captive. You practice and explain in all its parts the good path, perfect in energy, homage to you. Born as Prince Ayugra, iron house dweller, king of samsara and driven by detachment, you strove in the practice of bodhichitta and samadhi, perfect in dhyana, homage to you. And through compassion you took a buffalo's body, you bore a monkey's insults and taught some gods, profound dependent arising of cause and effect. You so perfect in wisdom, homage to you. When through love for beings you took a bird's body, you cured a tormented lion and taught some gods, the good path that pleases the conquerors, O matchless supreme guide to beings, homage to you. Through infinite existences like those, enjoying insatiably like an elephant bathing, difficult deed for others, you are enlightened. O compassionate teacher, homage to you. Perfecter of ocean-like sets of non-attachment, faultlessness, imperturbation, all-inclusion, undistraction, unconfusion, method, power, vow, and wisdom, knowledge, homage to you. Mindfulness efforts, the basis of psychic power, to supreme faculties and the amazing powers, the enlightenment factors and the Arya paths, all these you duly realize, homage to you. In 3 countless eons completing the 10 stages, to tame the gods you became the excellent being known as Sveta Ketu, you of infinite mirrors, homage to you. Knowing was time, you happily entered the womb, were born from the moon, engaged in youthful sports, went forth and lived in practice of austerities, realizer of all benefits, homage to you. Beneath the Bodhi tree you overcame, with mind of loving kindness, Mara's force. All conquerors of 10 directions gave you empowerment. O great hero, homage to you. Having won 5 super knowledges by the supreme Vajra-like samadhi, you gain unsurpassable awakening, leader of the world, homage to you. Abandoning all stains and their impressions, your wisdom knowledge grew completely full, so you are the whole world's refuge, even the gods, perfect Buddha, homage to you. You gain the triple kaya, bodies of great bliss and wisdom, with 5 certain features and with elaboration stilled by nature and shown in all forms for others, homage to you. Your body, gleaming like the king of mountains, gives off infinite light just like the sun, and shines all around with all marks and signs, unparalleled protector, homage to you. With true words of Dharma eloquence, of excellent meaning, you proclaimed your lion's roar that fears no listener, all bedecked in 60 qualities, homage to you. You are the 5 wisdom knowledges, clear, unobstructed, of non-abiding equality, source of virtues, achieving all good for disciples, free of all concepts, Lord of the world and nirvana, homage to you. Discoverer of all virtues, worldly disciples, of the nice, like, and conquerors children, common, superior, supreme teacher of samsara nirvana, homage to you. Though you are free from all the bonds and fetters, by infinite miracles that fulfill your vows, you benefit beings as long as samsara lasts, sole friend of all beings, homage to you. Turning the excellent precious wheel of Dharma, your disciples being very hard to tame, and fixed disciples in the 3 liberation, possessor of the 10 powers, homage to you. Knowing the season of your disciples' fortune, you entrusted the doctrine to the Aryas and manifested nirvana at Kushinagara, putting an end to sorrow, homage to you. That being's merits might yet be increased, your remains were turned in heaps of relics, serving as basis for the whole world's worship. You whose deeds are ceaseless, homage to you. To the wise, produced directly or by transmission from the true Dharma and the teachings of Scripture and insight, well taught by that supreme, matchless teacher, with indivisible faith, from my heart I pay homage. To the teacher's statutes, granting supreme well-being, books of his well-taught word or commenting on his thought, the sights of his stupas and everything worthy of homage, devoutly I pay homage. To the Buddha jewel, the supreme teacher, jewel of true Dharma, supreme refuge, and the Sangha jewel, the supreme guides, through jewels of refuge I pay homage. To all the lines of men who in the 3 times have come into the world in the 10 directions, to all of them without exception I pay homage and faith with body, speech, and mind. By virtue of the vow of Bhadra conduct and the mental presence of all the conquerors, I make prostration to them all by bowing the bodies as many as at the atoms of their lands. On one atom, Buddhas sit as many as the atoms miss their Buddha children. Thus I visualize the Dharma realm all entirely filled with conquerors, and inexhaustible oceans of their praises, with every sound from an ocean of vocal members, proclaiming the virtue of all the conquerors. I give praise to all the Sagatas. Just as the Buddha once, Sakra, ruler of the gods, offered greeting water, so I shall offer greeting water. Just as to the Buddha once, Manukuda Naga king, offered water for foot washing, so I offer foot wash water. Just as to the Buddha once, goddess of the Ganges river, offered golden flowers, I shall offer flowers too. Just as to the Buddha once, Lucky the boy incense seller, offered incense, so likewise I shall offer incense too. Just as to the Buddha once King Suvarna Bhuja made offering of light, so too I shall offer light to him. Just as to the Buddha once Supriya Gandharva king offered perfume, so likewise I shall offer perfume too. Just as to the Buddha once did Anathapindada, the householder, offer food, so I too shall offer food. Just as to the Buddha once Amara Priya, the smith, and Naganandi offers music, I shall offer music too. Lo, an unsurpassed offering, self-arisen great offering, mirror held by form goddess, form I offer to all eyes. Lo, an unsurpassing offering, self-arisen great offering, flute held by the sound of goddess, sound I offer to your ears. Lo, an unsurpassed offering, self-arisen great offering, conch held by the scent goddess, scent I offer to your nose. Lo, an unsurpassed offering, self-arisen great offering, food held by the taste goddess, taste I offer to your tongue. Lo, an unsurpassed offering, self-arisen great offering, clothes held by the touch goddess, touch I offer to your body. Bringing billions to the 10 directions, perfect gold, this crown to the Shaka's king's head do I offer. May this make the precious doctrine spread in the 10 directions, great well-being. Fill the world and gods and other beings, be crowned with the rank that has 10 powers. Without mental clinging or attachment, I shall offer monks and nuns the 3 robes the guides have praised, staffs and ascetic bowls, all proper and correct in measure. Though your stainless marks are unobscured, I present in faith a russet banner, thus make sentience vast as space, live within the supreme Buddha conduct. Offering goddess decks with ornaments, charming, most fair, and full proud of youth, giving all joy, skilled in song and dance, granting marvelous bliss of all 6 senses. Some that hold assorted bowls of flowers, others filling all parts with sweet incense, holding lamps or perfumes or ambrosia, I give worship with clouds of these offerings. Loving Lord and retinue, please gladly take this set of offerings, for my merits increase set out here, or imagine and grant me the highest. Goddesses of lute and flute, barrel drum and tambourine, laughter, grace, and song and dance, those of flowers and incense, those of lamps and perfume too, and of mirrors and of scents, tangibles and thought objects, I create to fill space and offer conquerors and their children, please accept for being safe. Precious wheels made of divine material, 1,000 pokes, their hubs completely round, rims quite smooth and excellent subduing, also foes I offer filling space. Precious jewels rich in essence of azure stone divine, that light the land for a league around as if light were spotless, stay I offer, filling space. Precious ladies, comely and good-looking, soft skin, fair complexion, and well-mannered, sweet of scent, attractive and to touch, all one wants I offer, filling space. Precious ministers with wealth like conquerors, offering pearly lustered golden riches, to the sage and patient equable chamberlains I offer, filling space. Precious elephants, all parts well made, standing on the ground like great snow mountains, worthy of a monarch that can travel in the sky, I offer, filling space. Precious horses that within a morning can traverse the land in all directions and return their coast like peacock's necks, beautiful, I offer, filling space. Precious generals with armors ready, terrifying all the troops of Mars, moving, going, coming from all sides, glorious I offer, filling space. Thanks to the roots of virtue from offering the 7 precious things of royalty, may the donors become great Dharma kings, ruling the kingdom of unsurpassable Dharma. Just as once the Buddha has srivatsas and whirls of joy for auspicious' sake, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once great Brahma made offering of a golden wheel with rim, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once lotuses of white were offered, not soiled by a speck of mud, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once Dharma banners were offered, sign of conquering Kleshamara, so shall I make offering. Just to the Buddha once golden-handled white umbrellas were offered, so I shall offer. Please accept them as you will. Just as to the Buddha once was offered to a magic pot that accomplished every wish, so I make offering. Just as to the once was offered a white coat conch, sounding sweetly everywhere, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once clothes with golden fish design were offered, so I shall offer. Please accept them as you will. Thanks to the roots of virtue from offering, the 8 auspicious symbols for the donors, in every place, time, and situation, may extensive auspicious signs of prosperity and well-being appear continually. To the Buddha once Prabhadara form goddess, offered in the hand a mirror, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once Dhanapala elephant, offered Rokana in hand, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once farmer's daughter Sujata, offered cow's milk curd in hand, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once boy grass seller Svastika, offered Durva grass in hand, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once great Brahma, the supreme God, offered bel-tree fruit in hand, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once Sakras, ruler of the gods, offered right word coiled white conch. Just as do the Buddha ones, Brahma Suklajit the lucky, offer minium in hand, so I'll make offering. Just as do the Buddha ones, Vajrapani Hugyak Lord, gave white mustard seed in hand, so shall I make offering. Thanks to the virtue from offering the 8 auspicious things, may extensive prosperity and auspicious signs appear continually in every word. So is this considered a drum?
I was just worrying about that because we could bring the drum out.
Oh, it's in the back? We pause for the drum. This auspicious vase adorned with jewels, full of nectars of the gods I offer, let this cleanse all stains of deeds and klesha, and soak me in bodhichitta's moisture. By the virtue of my offering drums, may all beings have the Brahmic voice, reach the Buddha's supreme best awakening, turn the ever-wholesome wheel of Dharma, live for eons inconceivable, teach the Dharma for the world's welfare, conquer klesha and cure suffering. May delusion, greed, and hate be quelled. Thanks to the roots of virtue from offering drums, and may the donors beat the great drum of the Dharma continually. Fine white conches while coiled to the right, with silk crest and tuneful blare that fills all directions, filling space I offer, may the world win Brahmic voice supreme. Thanks to the roots of virtue from offering conches, may the donors blow the conch of the Dharma continually. Parasol with sapphire tips agleam, with 1,000 spokes of spotless gold, round their edge adorned with wreaths of pearls, decked with diverse gems I offer. Thanks to the roots of virtue from offering parasols, may the donors become great kings of the unsurpassable Dharma. Banners of your triumph over opponents, with straight, supple, precious poles that have crescents, vajras, jewel filials, with 3 frills upon which little bells tinkle as they flutter in a breeze, well endowed with triply sinuous grace, these and splendid flags with and without signs of lovely creatures I shall offer. Thanks to the roots of virtue with offering banners and flags, may the donors hoist in the 10 directions the banner of the Dharma triumphant over all opponents and prestigious flags. Countless canopies of priceless cloth that adorn the sky with varied silk fringes waving, scented with snake's heart, sandalwood, and clouds I'll offer you. Conquer, subdue, Mara, and awake, though their bodies have no filth or thirst, still to make them merit fields for us, these prepared foods and foodstuffs we offer. May the crop of virtue always grow, and in all migrators vast of space, born from lotus and sukhavati, enjoy Dharma and samadhi food. Superb flowers and garlands, instruments of music, unguents, final parasols, and the best of lamps and excellent incense. With these I make offering to the conquerors. Finest raiment and superb perfume, powered incense equal to Mount Meru. the best of most distinguished splendor. With these I make offering to the conquerors. Finest jewels, finest necklaces, dazzling, superb canopies divine, and the best of banners and of flags. With these I make offering to the conquerors. Offerings that are vast and supreme, visualized for every conqueror. I, by power of faith in Vajra conduct, honor and make offering to all conquerors. From the flowers, those in general and arrays in canopies come light, spreading diverse flowers everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the incense that in general and rays in canopies comes light, spreading diverse incense everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the perfumes, those in general and rays in canopies comes light, spreading diverse perfumes everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the garlands, those in general and arrays and canopies comes light, spreading diverse garlands everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the powders, those in general and arrays and canopies comes light, spreading diverse powders everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the garments, those in general and rays and canopies comes light, spreading diverse raiment everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the parasols in general and rays and canopies comes light, spreading diverse parasols everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the jewels, those in general and rays and canopies comes light, spreading diverse jewels everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the lotuses in general and arrays and canopies comes light, spreading diverse lotuses everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the necklaces in general and arrays and canopies comes light, spreading diverse necklaces throughout, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the banners and arrays comes light, filling all the conquerors' lands with many banners and arrays of diverse kinds, white, red, yellow banners, and some blue ones. Parasols arranged with diverse nets of jewels, hung with silken flags and garlands, tinkling Buddha word from nets of bells over the Tathagatas I hold. As I give a single conqueror offerings beyond thought from my palms, so I offer to all conquerors as ascetic's magic of samadhi. Grown on land or water, not possessed by gods or others. In this and another place I present you chiefs of sages. Every excellent incense tree, in this and other place, gods and others marvelous incense, I present you chiefs of sages. Like from dazzling noble gems, or produced from shining trees, or from suns and moons and so forth, sent out to all parts I offer. Perfume with fine trees, in this or another place, I send out to every region and present you Lord of sages. Sending out clouds of the finest offerings, seas of jewel nature, jewel mountains, and so forth, to all regions I'll make offering. Troops most fond of play and pleasure, laughing, graceful, and so forth, the most joyful anywhere I'll send out to every region. Sources of adornments, clothes, and so on, like wish-granting trees, I, reciting Vajra mantras, offer unto all the Buddhas. Generating bodhichitta for all sentient beings' sake, sending it to every region, I'll make offerings to all Buddhas. To my offering, the perfection of giving, may sentient beings all achieve wealth and abundance. May their happiness lack nothing. Let all beings be established in their vows and bodhicitta. I send everywhere the calming of great faults like violence. May the sufferings of malice, fear, and other things be calm. May yogas and friendliness practice dharma selflessly. Let me not reach Buddhahood till samsara meets its end. May all sentient beings too practice with such energy. Let all creatures' great defilements such as greed be pacified. Let all beings undistracted be possessed of the four dhyanas. Made pure by applying wisdom, great wisdom of Buddha's Gnosis, best at cutting suffering, may all beings be pure Buddhas. Myself as many as thrice thousandfold world's atoms, I imagine clouds of offerings and make offering to all Buddhas. Fancying myself as many world's atoms, and with tongues as many too, I recite the Buddha's praises. Matches firm one with the match of supreme nature, merciful dispel sorrows. Give all cities of endless virtues, with the best of spotless, stable, peerless features. Of your virtue's smallest fraction there is no measure. It could not be printed in the entire sky. You of an unexampled, peerless, endless cities, grant to sentient beings' minds the supreme cities, with the property of ceaseless prayer fulfillment, from the force of very pure compassion born, striving endlessly to benefit migrators, always reveal your great compassion nature. Though you found the noble state of Sugata, fully perfect, lacking measure or limit, still your stable conduct of compassion, granting supreme cities to the three realms, will not cease. Lo, you have made the best of very excellent nature. Gained the highest mark, granting supreme cities to all three realms always. Lord who comprehends the three times unobstructed, grant me the 3 supreme pledges, best of Siddhis. Next, combining all the offerings coming from the body, speech, and mind of those self-same yogins, I'll make offering to all Buddhas. Supreme concentration on emptiness, no dharmas rule. Signlessness and wishlessness I shall offer to all Buddhas. Made by force of merits without measure, finest jewel crown of God's materials, coiled up jewel earrings for your earlobes, best neck bandle for the conch-like neck, necklace for your heart's Sri Vatsa sign, best protective thread for the upper arms, finest bangles to adorn the wrists, finest rings for fingers joined by webs, ornaments for feet with magic powers, I shall offer conquerors and their children in compassion, please accept for beings. Made by force of merits without measure, precious parasols with golden handles, banners of triumph over foes and morrows, flags of fame to 10 directions waving, decked with lovely silk garlands throughout, pain-removing jewel-handled cowries, canopies that glow with jewel ornaments, I shall offer conquerors and their children in compassion, please accept for beings. Made by force of merits without measure, lion seat for your 4 fearlessness, other loving, gorgeous heavenly bedding, round precinct, no corners of defilements, palace square for your full qualities. Second story square for world transcendence, moon seat, clear light natured bodhichitta, I shall offer conquerors and their children in compassion, please accept for beings. Made by force of merits without measure, finest lotus unsoiled by greed or smoke, lute and bells for sound of emptiness, scent of skillful unsoiled aggregates, dharma food that cures defilements hunger, God's clothes conscious and consideration, I shall offer conquerors and their children in compassion, please accept for beings. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, all there is of heavenly greeting water, made by magic by the conqueror's knowledge, I shall offer conquerors and their children. Thank you. In the 10 direction worlds or this one, all there is of fine and soft light cloth, of good colors fragrant nice to touch, I shall offer conquerors and their children. So we're on 70, the 21 offerings, stanza number 3.
Thank you.
In the 10 directions worlds are this one, all the lovely precious decorated canopies most pleasant to be near, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, many colored flags of stuffs of heaven, fluttering bravely in the directions, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, precious parasols with golden handles, edges trimmed with well-shaped ornaments, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, precious gem-tipped banners and the flying flags of triumph over tomorrow's foes, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, trees that bear assorted fragrant flowers, pleasing and superb in shape and color, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the directions worlds are this one, all there is of exquisite perfumes, cool, sweet-scented, curing pain and conduct, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, swelling clouds of smoke of heavenly incense, blended well with from camphor and so forth, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, precious blazing lamps of heavenly substance, stopping darkness in the 10 directions, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds or this one, diverse foods and swastikas and so on, 100 flavored, fine in smell and color, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, all the pleasant music sweet to hear, from 10 directions interest like loose, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, all the well-trained dancers and musicians, playing joyfully and beautifully, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, all the best adornments of divine jewels, such as crowns, earrings, and bangles, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, all the excellent, gorgeous silken ribbons, hanging splendidly in every place, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, lovely garlands of sweet malacca, of all propitious, precious flowers, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, palaces adorned with jewel cowries, strings of pearls and triquescent moons and gems, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, herds of horses, thoroughbred, swift running, triumphing over foes in pleasant places, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, herds of elephants, the best of mounts, strong, foe-crushing, decked with lets of jewels, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions, rules are this one: wish-fulfilling cows and other beasts that supply the local people's wants, I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions, rules are this one: pleasing portals decked with bells and other ornaments, set in 10 directions, I shall offer conquerors and their children. Next, let further masses of offerings and clouds of pleasant song and music, comforting beings, sufferings arise. On all jewels of true Dharma, reliquaries, and statues, let unceasing rings of jewels, flowers, and so forth descend. Just as Manju Gosha and others worship conquerors, so to Lord Tathagatas and their sons I too make offering. I these seas of virtue praise with oceans of hymnic sounds, like clouds of unfailing praise in concert arise to them. I have to do this slowly because this is in English. Om Vajra ground, Ahum, mighty golden ground. Om Vajra fence, Ahum, the iron fence around the end. In the center is Mount Meru, king of mountains. In the eastern continent, Lupagos, south Zambuling, west Balangchur, north Dramingyam. The subcontinents, Lu and Lupag, Naya Yab Shen, Yoden Dan Lobchocho, Jaming Yandan, Jaming Yagita. East precious mountains, south west granting tree, west wish granting cow, north cultivated crops. Precious wheel, precious jewel, precious queen, precious minister, precious elephant, precious horse, precious general, great treasure vase. Goddess of beauty, goddess of garlands, goddess of song, goddess of dance, goddess of flowers, goddess of incense, goddess of light, goddess of perfume. Sun, moon, precious parasol, banner of victory in all directions. In the center are the most perfect riches of gods and humans, with nothing missing, pure and delightful. To my glorious, holy, and most kind root and lineage gurus, and particular to the deity hosts of the peerless king and the Shakyas and their entourage, I shall offer these. Please accept them with compassion for the sake of my guardian beings. Having accepted them to me and all sentient, please grant every supreme and ordinary CD. Greeting water pools from seas of learning, flowers of virtues, incense clouds of morals, lamps of wisdom, perfume, lakes of faith, best ambrosial fruits of samadhi, astounding symbols of melodious praise, raise umbrellas, banners, flags around, of compassion, judgment, and quick wits, decorate my body's storied palace. This I offer, Dharma lords, to you, steadfastly abiding on the broad-petaled lotus drop amidst my heart. I request with true longing mind, may it always please the world's gurus, may it always please the kings of Dharma, so that henceforth until Bodhi, your compassion sustain me. I make offering in faith, please accept it and inspire me. This ground anointed with perfumes, strewn with flowers, adorned Mount Meru, four continents, sun and moon. I offer in visualization as field of Buddhas, may all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. Do we have to do it in Tibetan too? Saji perki shushin metog tamri rablinji ni degen padi sangye jingdu mite uwa Gidoku namdang shingla chirpashok idam guru rata mandala kam niryatayami. O deity host of the peerless king and the Shakyas in your entourage, you have inconceivable qualities of wisdom, love, and power, so please grant inspiration that my mind may move in the Dharma. Please grant inspiration that the Dharma may progress along the path. Please grant inspiration that no obstacles may arise in the path. Please grant inspiration to stop all perverse ideas. Please grant inspiration that all unperverted ideas may easily grow. Please grant inspiration that the precious doctrine of the conqueror and the second conqueror may spread, flourish, and remain for a long time. Please grant inspiration to increase the life and deeds of the holy beings who uphold the doctrine. Please grant inspiration that teaching and practice may flourish in the host of Sangha communities. Please grant inspiration that the might of the patrons of the doctrine may increase. Please grant inspiration that happiness may come for all sentient beings. Please grant inspiration that all external and internal adverse conditions, such as sickness, famine, and conflict, may be pacified in every world. Please grant inspiration that all good things, favorable conditions such as long life, merits, wealth, power, and prestige may increase and develop more and more. Please grant inspiration that all beings' rightful aims may be fulfilled as they wish. Body actions of 3 kinds, vocal ones of 4 kinds too, and 3 kinds of mental ones, 10 non-virtues I confess. All the 10 unwholesome and 5 immediate deeds I've done through klesha without beginning till the present I confess. Whatever evil deeds I may have done, with body, speech, or likewise with the mind, under the power of greed, hate, and delusion, every one of them do I confess. Whatever merits all conquerors, Buddha children, pratyekas, Aryas, trainings, and past training, and worldly beings have throughout the 10 directions, I rejoice in all of them. All you lights of the worlds of the 10 directions who awakened to body and realized non-attachment, I urge all of you protectors to turn the unsurpassable wheel of Dharma. Those who wish to demonstrate nirvana, I requested folded palms to stay, for eons as many as atoms of their lands, for all beings' happiness and welfare. My little virtue I have gathered, from prostrating, offering, confessing, and rejoicing, urging, and requesting, I dedicate to all towards awakening. Today, before the deity hosts of Conqueror Shakyamuni and the retinue here invoked, recollecting the past lives and biography of the Tathagata Shakyamuni, I have with great devotion paid homage and made offering to them, confessed my sins before them, rejoiced in virtue, exhorted in me, and so forth. By the force of whatever merit I have thus created, of their power, glory, and inspiration, may the precious doctrine of the conqueror and second conqueror spread and flourish for a long time. May the lifespan and deeds of the holy beings who uphold the doctrine increase and develop more and more. May the activities of teaching and practice and the hopes of Sangha communities flourish more and more like the waxing moon. May the life, merits, wealth, power, and prestige of the patrons of the doctrine develop more and more like the depth of a river in summer. Thanks to their power and ability, may all sentient beings have perfect happiness, and may all their rightful aims be spontaneously fulfilled like fruits of a wish-granting tree. In every world may not even the name occur of any external or internal harm, such as sickness, famine, injury by enemies, or hindering spirits, fighting, and disputes. May good, auspicious signs arise continually, such as rain falling at the right times, crops and livestock always doing well, and mutual concord of ruler and ministers and subjects. May I and all other sentient beings always pass our time solely in white, wholesome activities, such as honoring, worshiping the 3 jewels, while holding them superior, living in the morality of the 10 virtues, teaching and learning about the 3 collections of scriptures, and practicing the 3 trainings. Thanks to the power of this, may we never be reborn on the 8 inopportune states, such as the 3 ill destinies, but attain a section of excellent human rebirths in which we can follow the good path. And particularly when the time for dying from this life draws near, may an intense faith focus upon the region, the invincible Lord Maitreya and his children manifest in us, and dying without the slightest suffering of body and mind, may we take birth from the precious lotus Iga chosen into Shida. As soon as we are born there, may we see directly the faces of the conqueror Lord Maitreya, Bodhisattva Gaganamala, and Venerable Manjushri, and the many other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and receive infinite advice and instruction from them. May we understand their meaning correctly and put it into practice, so that the special paths such as detachment, bodhichitta, and right view arise in our minds at all times. Through this, when the regent, the invincible Lord Maitreya, displays the deeds of a supreme Nirmana Kaya on earth, may we be born as the first of his retinue, enjoy insatiably the nectar of his holy speech, and receive the prophecy of our highest supreme awakening. May also the roots of virtue to be so dedicated, not to degenerate in the least through adverse conditions, such as anger, but totally because for whatever desired object the conquerors of the 3 times and their children have dedicated or will dedicate roots of virtue towards. I've invoked the deity host to the king of sages. Prostrate offered requested. Through these virtues let me, before the sages Regis Maitreya, enjoy abundance of Mahayana teaching. When above the hill of Buddha Gaya rises the king of sons, the Lord Maitreya, may the lotus of my wisdom open and satisfy great swarms of fortunate bees. Then please may the conqueror Maitreya, setting his right hand upon my head, prophesy my highest supreme body, and let me win it soon for all beings' sake. To the Lord of the Doctrine, the Bhagavan teacher, and hosts of root and lineage, gurus, Buddhas, bodhisattvas, hearers, pratyeks, protectors, with my 3 doors I pay homage in great devotion. On this occasion of making homage, offering and request to the deity host, the peerless king of the Shakyas and their retinue, we sentient beings in an evil time of vile, impure behaviors, because of recklessness and not having things, have made errors and mistakes such as conduct of body, speech, and mind that is mingled with defilements, small, poor, and unclean offerings, and inability to perform the rite exactly. We ask the teacher, the king of sages, and the other greatly compassionate Arya beings to be patient with all of this. Will you please think of us compassionately, accept us forgivingly, and consent to grant inspiration, so that now and henceforth it may not be an obscuration for us. You do all that's good for beings, and grant siddhis in accordance. Please go to your Buddha lands and come back again later. Great compassionate lords, it is good that you benefit us and all sentient beings, but please go miraculously with your retinues to your respective lands. Possessor of perfection like a golden mountain, a lord of the 3 worlds who left the 3 defilements, a Buddha with eyes resembling full-grown lotus petals, this is the first auspicious good sign for the world. The highest of what he has taught, unshakable, famed in the triple world, honored by gods and humans, the most superior Dharma, calming every being, this is the second auspicious good sign for the world. An excellent Sangha, rich in wealth of righteous learning, an object of worship for gods, men, and asuras, the best assembly, base of conscience and prosperity. This is the third auspicious good sign for the world. Highest, best teacher, greatest the great, Son, Lord of Dharma, conquer. Through your inspiration, quell harmless foes, the maras and all kinds of hindrance. Day and night be our auspicious seat of prosperity. Highest, best Dharma of true reality, nectar of true Dharma, truth. Through your inspiration, free us from false, that our good collections develop. Day and night be our auspicious seed of prosperity. Sangha, shining splendor of precious qualities. Buddha children, true helpers. Through your inspiration, quell our defilements and sufferings, the foes that torment us. Day and night be our auspicious sign of prosperity. Giving, charity, keeping of morality, practice of patience, undertaking energy, concentration, realizing true mode of being. Let us here now have the blessing of these 6. Living in centuries, seeing 100 teachers, long life, health, and perfect happiness, expertness in special, supreme vehicle. Let us here now have these auspicious things. We'd like to thank again our sponsor, Annabella Pitkin, and her dedication. For my daughter Eleanor's well-being and happiness here and every year, and the healing of the world, and for the long life of our teachers. For David Kay's healing, in memory of Nancy Howell. Thank you very much. Let's see, is that it?
Should we do
Long life prayers?
long life?
Yeah, okay, long life prayers. Let's see. There, it's in the Gold Prayer Book, 244 and 245. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chenrei Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. And then on the other side, the one who mounted his speech at a very young age, the one of great patience who received the name Avatara, the one of great precision who spread the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa, Bliss and Void, Lama ornament of the yellow hat tradition, please remain until samsara end. You uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, savor of myself and others, your disciples. Please, please live long. Then 7 green Tara mantras for Geshe-la and Geshe Sangpo's long, healthy, happy life, so they will be free of obstacles and so that all their Dharma wishes will be fulfilled. Om Tare-tu re soha. 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 Om Tare-tu re soha.